Selling on Amazon is easy, but only if you follow some simple steps. I didn't listen, and I spent almost $30,000 to start my Amazon FBA business. Even though I had a lot of sales, but still my business failed. I lost over $3,000 in the first 2 months of selling on Amazon because I didn't listen to my mentor's advice. My product was making sales, but I made a mistake that cost me money. But now I know what not to do. So I'm going to share with you what my product is, step by step, how I started my business, and the 3 biggest mistakes that I made, including one that cost me over $10,000, so you don't make the same mistake. But make sure to watch till the end, because I'm going to share the biggest secret I wish I knew to make sure that your Amazon FBA business is a success. I created Potty Pie with Pockets to help toddlers with potty training. And my first expense was package design, which my friend did for me for $300. Then I hired that same friend to do product photos for $700. But after that, I got a trademark and a patent from an attorney completely free. But then I had to pay $39.99 on the Amazon seller account fee. I found a manufacturer and I spent $14,600 on my manufacturing order, plus $360 on samples. But it only cost me that much because I missed out on some important information from my coach. Luckily, I learned now and I know that it doesn't have to cost you that much. I'll share with you how to save so much more money in just a minute. After that, it cost me $5,300 to ship my product from my manufacturing to the Amazon warehouse. But this is something you can get done much cheaper. But there were a few other fees, and in total, I almost spent $22,000 in starting my Amazon FBA business. I spent a lot of money, especially on manufacturing and shipping, but I could have saved so much money if I would have just listened to a few rules and tips that my coach told me. And I'll reveal those in just a minute. Because my name is Antoinette, and I was a stay-at-home mom homeschooling my kids. But money was really tight because of the cost of groceries and everything going up. I desperately needed a source of income to help support my family, but I could only work a couple hours a week. That's when I thought about Amazon. I could work on that while still taking care of my kids. I didn't have any product ideas at that point, until one night at a restaurant, my baby had a blowout. And I quickly grabbed one of my grandma's incontinence pads to lay her down and clean up. That's when it hit me, the idea, not the blowout. Toddlers needed a bigger area to clean. So I created a huge absorbent changing pad with pockets to dispose of your wipes and dirty diapers in. Something that all parents needed. And I called it Potty Pad with Pockets. I wanted to set up my business right. And I saw a YouTube channel by an expert Amazon seller by the name of Travis. There are hours of free material, and I learned so much. But I wanted a mentor on my side that I could ask questions and get advice from on every step or whenever I needed it. So I took my Potty Pad with Pockets and signed up for Travis's FBA course. And I was ready to get manufacturing and selling thousands of units overnight. So let's go step by step on how I set up my business. And I'll share the major mistakes I made along the way. It cost me nothing to do the research. I knew the product was something that I needed, and I asked around to other moms and dads, and they needed it too. I also looked at similar Amazon products to look at their negative feedbacks. Nothing the right size for growing toddlers. They were too thin and they leaked, so I knew I could just improve on my product. So if I got a yes from 100% of my small group test, and they said they would buy my premium product, I knew the wider audience would be huge. I was completely confident in developing my new product, and I decided to move forward with it. This research phase was free to do, but after joining the course, I learned this was my first big mistake. And it's a mistake that most new Amazon sellers make. I skipped this lesson in Travis's Amazon's FBA course because I already had my mind set on my product idea. But there's this incredible tool called Helium 10 that can help you find and validate product ideas. And it'll give you the highest chances of success on Amazon. Because the key to making money on Amazon is to understand that Amazon is a search engine. And people go on Amazon to search for things that they want to buy. The search terms people type into Amazon are called keywords. And Helium 10 can show you how popular certain keywords are. So you could determine how much customer demand there is for your product by adding many more powerful keywords to my title and bullet points that would have strategically shown my product to more customers and on top of the search results. results. If you want to unlock all the premium features to help you find your new product, there's a link in the description for a discount code for Helium 10. And when you use that code, you'll get the biggest discount anywhere for Helium 10. So make sure you research and validate your idea so you can set yourself up for success. It then cost me $300 to design my logo and packaging. I'm really lucky to have creative friends because I was able to hire my friend to do the product brand and the packaging and logo. If you don't have a friend to do design for you, you can get your logo and packaging design using Fiverr, Upwork, or 99 Designs. For product photos, I actually took them myself, which initially didn't cost anything, but they weren't that good. So then I spent $700 to get my photos taken by somebody else. I hired that same creative friend who took photos, videos, and fully edited everything. And it was ready for my product listing on Amazon. Now, spending $1,000 on creatives could be a lot for a new seller. But Travis has this budget-friendly resource that he made available to everyone. A team of Amazon experts called FBA creatives that will do the creative, branding, and market work for you. They can create your product images, logo, branding, and your packaging. Plus, build your entire listing description and bullet points for much less than what I paid. And there's a link down below. I then spent $50 getting my LLC. I just created it online by myself. Travis has a great video on how to protect your business and recommends an LLC or a limited liability company. This will cost you over $200 if you hire a team. An LLC can be beneficial by separating your personal assets from your business assets in case you get sued. So if you need help, you can go to wyregisteredagent.net and they can help you set it all up. Or you can file for a DBA or doing business as. This will cost you $99 from LegalZoom. It's a business name you use to operate under for tax purposes. It's great for marketing, but it won't provide you any legal protection in case you get sued. So my next cost was $0 for a trademark and patent attorney. I want to share the secret with you on how to get a trademark and patent attorney for free. I contacted lawyers and asked if they could just help me pro bono. A lot of lawyers are willing to help out, and the worst they could say is no, so I say go for it. However, you could file trademark by yourself and it's really easy. Travis has a tutorial on how to do it right on the USPTO website. Then it cost me $14,600 to get my products made for my manufacturer. And that was 1,600 packs for the toddler changing pads. There are 30 packs per unit, so that was over 50,000 changing pads. Finding a manufacturer was made so easy by working with Travis's Amazon FBA course. I didn't hear back from a lot of the suppliers that I contacted, but ended up contacting 7 manufacturers and finally made an amazing connection with a female supplier who was another mom and who really connected with my product idea. But before I could order my product, I did have to spend $360 on 2 samples. They had never made anything like this before, so we were learning at the same time. The first sample was more expensive than the second because of all the customizations I wanted to do. I ended up changing the pockets and the color. At that point, I spent $113 on an inspector who tested my product. He also tested the packaging and gave me detailed reports. I was completely confident in sending my new product to Amazon. This is a mistake that most new Amazon sellers make and is highly recommended by Travis because one bad review could ruin your business. So an inspector can save you from sending damaged products. But if you're looking to find a manufacturer for your own products, you can use Alibaba.com, where there are hundreds of overseas manufacturers, and Thomasnet.com to find manufacturers in the US. Or you could even use Google. My next cost was $5,300 to get my products shipped from China to Amazon. And I used a company called Global Logistics through Amazon. They took care of everything. They oversaw everything from picking it up at the factory from China and traveling overseas to the US. Then they even took care of it all the way to the Amazon FBA warehouse. Typically, shipping via air is faster, but it's much more expensive. If you ship via sea on an ocean freight, it will be cheaper, but it'll take much longer to arrive. Manufacturing and shipping is actually where I made my second mistake. The first mistake was ordering too many units. I should have kept it between 300 and 500 units, and that's actually what's recommended by Travis. Then my second mistake came down to my packaging, which was very heavy and bulky. That added to my shipping cost and storage fees, and it cost me over $3,000 $20,000 in fees and lost income. Originally, my packaging was huge. Out of my $40 revenue for each unit, I was spending $21 on storage fees. So before you start your first production, make sure you use your Amazon revenue calculator. Put in your packaging weight and dimensions and it'll calculate your fees for you. But this was a major part as to why my Amazon business ate into my profits from my first production run. Don't make that mistake. Make sure to listen and learn about the helpful shipping and packaging tutorials in Travis's course so you get it the first time around. Luckily now, my packaging is smaller and much cheaper, and I'm on the track to making profit. Now, the next startup cost was $30 to get my UPC code. UPC stands for Universal Product Code. It's the barcode on the back of any packaging you scan during checkout. I use GS1, so if you need one, go to gs1.org. And it cost me $39.99 to set up my Amazon seller account. You need that to list and sell your products on Amazon. And now I'm ready to launch. I'm going to share how much I made in my very first month in just a minute. But by the time I launched, I had spent almost $22,000 to start my new business. I know it seems like a lot of money, and it is. But if you follow the right steps and advice, you can start your own Amazon FBA business with $0. Travis has a lot of free content on his channel, including some tools he taught to AJ, who started his business with $0, raised all the money he needed with crowdfunding, and has made over $200,000 every year since, just from Amazon sales. And you could do the same. This was like a major roller coaster ride. I felt butterflies, I felt anxious, I felt nervous. Honestly, I just planned to launch on Amazon and then become a millionaire. But as Travis teaches in his course, Amazon is a search engine, and the higher that you are in the search results, the more sales you get. I learned that there's over 230 million customers on Amazon in the US alone, and 56% start their search on Amazon. And I didn't want to be on page 2 or 3. I needed to launch with sales on day 1. I made $2,559 in the first 30 days selling on Amazon. But it's important that you know this was revenue and not profit. I sold 64 units, and the cost for these units were $951. And there are a lot of fees you have to pay when you sell on Amazon. I paid $383 for my Amazon referral fee. This is a 15% fee that you have to pay in order to sell on the Amazon platform. It's worth it because Amazon has over 310 million customers. And no other marketplace has that opportunity for sellers. The second cost me $955 for the Amazon FBA fee. FBA stands for Fulfilled by Amazon, which means Amazon will pick, pack, and ship your products to your customers. Now, my product is bulky and takes up a lot of space, so I ended up paying over $1,700 in storage fees. Then I paid $906 for PPC, or paid per click, and I'll explain that in just a second. But I was so excited to sell over 60 units. I only expected 10 to 20 max. But after all of these expenses, my first month selling on Amazon, I actually lost over $2,300. A huge part of that loss was my third mistake. I spent over $900 on PPC, which is paid per click, where you could pay to have your listing at the top of the search results. And you pay a small fee for every time somebody clicks on your listing. Seems great in theory, but I poured money into this without knowing anything about it. I thought it would be easy, but you need to target specific keywords and search terms that customers type into the Amazon search box. Luckily, Travis has a lot of valuable tools in his course and some free tools on his YouTube channel to help you harness your Amazon PPC. There's a link in the description. Now, this was a great lesson. So in month 2, I pulled right back on PPC, and I did see an improvement and my product was selling organically. I made $839 in my second month of selling on Amazon. And after taking out all the expenses, I still lost money, a little over $700. I saw that although I cut out PPC, I still got 21 organic sales. I know this is only going to build as time goes on, because when you have organic sales, that improves your product's organic growth over time. One thing that became really clear were how much fees were eating into my profits. After I had a closer look, my biggest profit-crushing fees was my storage fees, because my product was so large. So while I work with my manufacturer to stream my packaging as much as possible, I took all my lessons from month 1 and hired somebody on Fiverr to do my rebranding. I did this because I doubled back on my Amazon FBA course and really focused on selling in a niche. I know with lower fees and honing in on my niche, everything is going to build organically, and this is going to succeed. I started this journey and want to build a second income. And in my first 2 months of selling on Amazon, I did end up making $3,400 in revenue. But remember, revenue is not profit. After taking out all my expenses, PPC advertising, and storage fees, I ended up losing over $3,000. I had lost quite a bit of money, but I was working on rebranding my entire business, refocusing my investment into my product. And because I realigned myself with the lessons from Travis's FBA course, I was actually ranking still on the first page. But with every step I took with my business, every mistake I made, and every expense I didn't need, and every lesson that I missed, there was one huge takeaway, a secret that I want to share with you right now. And I know it's true because I had it, but I didn't take advantage of it until now. And it's improving my business every day. Do you want to know the secret to having a successful Amazon FBA business? You need a mentor and you need to listen to them. I signed up for that amazing Amazon FBA course with Travis. I had 2 wonderful one-on-one mentor sessions. I had live weekly Q&As and over 100 hours of step-by-step tutorial videos, but I didn't watch them all. I skipped some steps in the process. A mentor is someone who's done the hard work before. They've learned the mistakes, and all you need to do is listen and let them guide you. But I rushed ahead and now I'm playing catch up. But I started this business myself. Luckily, I'm learning so much new stuff by going back through the course and asking the coaches questions. And I could see a successful path ahead, and it's already going that way. I'm harnessing the power of social media as I work with perfecting my potty pad with pockets. And I know it'll just be a matter of time before I have the business that I have envisioned. If you would like to get your hands on one of my potty pad with pockets, there's a link in the description. Having a mentor and following all these steps is life-changing. Joining Travis's program, Passion Product Formula, has changed my life. If you join it, you won't regret it. But if you're not ready for that yet, Travis has a completely free 10-hour Amazon FBA course that you can get by clicking right here.